The autonomic nervous system regulates functions of our internal organs such as the heart, stomach, and intestine. The ANS is part of the peripheral nervous system and controls some of the muscles within the body. We are unaware of the ANS due to the fact that it functions involuntarily and reflexively. There are two divisions of the autonomic nervous system. The sympathetic nervous system, which is your fight or flight response, and the parasympathetic nervous system, which is your rest and digest response. The sympathetic nervous system dilates pupils, inhibits saliva, accelerates the heartbeat, dilates the bronchi, inhibits peristalsis, converts glycogen to glucose, secretes adrenaline, and inhibits the bladder. The sympathetic nervous system starts off in the middle of the spinal cord. It originates in the spinal cord of the cell bodies of the first neuron, the preganglionic neuron, which are located in the thoracic and spinal cord. The axons from these neurons project to a chain of ganglia located in the spinal cord. The neuron makes a synapse with another neuron called the postganglionic neuron. A few preganglionic neurons go to another ganglia outside of the sympathetic chain and synapse there. The postganglionic neuron then projects to a target, either a muscle or a gland. The synapse and the sympathetic ganglion use acetylcholine as a neurotransmitter. The synapse of the postganglionic neuron uses a neurotransmitter called norepinephrine. The adrenal medulla is a modified sympathetic ganglion. The ganglionic neurons of the adrenal medulla have very short axons. When stimulated, they release their neurotransmitter into the bloodstream, not at the synapse. A few of the receptors involved in the sympathetic nervous system are the beta-1 receptor, beta-2 receptor, and the alpha-1 receptor. The beta-1 receptor is dominant in the normal heart. Activation of this receptor leads to an increase of contractile force and heart rate. The beta-2 receptor is dominant in the vascular and non-vascular smooth muscle. Activation of the beta-2 receptor leads to vascular and non-vascular relaxation. Drugs that activate the beta-2 receptor can be used to treat asthma. Bronchodilation is a widening of the lumen of the bronchi, allowing increased airflow to and from the lungs. This occurs when a person is having an asthma attack. The alpha-1 receptors are located in the arteries. When stimulated by epinephrine or norepinephrine, it causes the arteries to constrict, which increases the blood flow. The parasympathetic nervous system stimulates the saliva, slows the heartbeat, constricts the bronchi, stimulates the peristalsis, and contracts the bladder. Two of the receptors in the parasympathetic nervous system are the muscarinic acetylcholine receptor and the nicotinic acetylcholine receptor. Nicotinic acetylcholine receptor is one of the main mediators of neurotransmission. It is bounded by two acetylcholine molecules, and it can be located in both the sympathetic or parasympathetic nervous system. Muscarinic receptors are G-protein coupled receptors. Their stimulation and G-protein activation produces longer-lasting effects than does the stimulation of nicotinic receptors. Now, let's recap. The sympathetic nervous system is your fight or flight response. For example, you're walking at the park in a beautiful cloudy day. A few feet away from you, you spot a person walking their dog. The dog gets out of control and runs away from the owner. What do? Do you fight or flight? In this case, flight will be the answer, meaning running away as fast as you can from the dog. Therefore, the parasympathetic system is your rest or digest response.